Hello and welcome to another episode of TCAP Recap. It's your boy Hayden. This will actually be the first episode because I did not save the videos of the first three, so that was my mistake. But my problems seem trivial compared to Mr. Corey Ahia, who's gonna be our subject for the night. Now, Mr. Corey is known as the Bart Simpson Predator, the 40-year-old virgin Predator, because he brings that movie over. He gets busted in the Riverside, California edition. He's 25, and this guy is a sick bastard. He's there for a 12-year-old, which, I mean, it's just worse. I know the show usually goes with like 13, 14, sometimes 15, which is fine with me, but I feel like some states in the South have such low consent ages. Like it might be 16 in some states. So 15 is just like so close that it doesn't feel like it would be as much of a punishment. But anyway, Corey's in that particular ring of hell for guys who go after 12-year-olds in TCAP. And in this edition of the video, thank you to Joey's TCAP channel, by the way, he's just got a color to him. He's just a funny looking guy. Like, underrated Predator. If you like, this would be an amazing movie, or I don't know, waste of money. But something like the Predators movie, the 2010 one, where all the best soldiers get dropped off on this strange jungle planet. Like, you drop all the Predators off in just a giant labyrinth of kitchens with stools and, like, little water bottles and just voracious Chris Hansen beasts that just chow them down, and they gotta run around and fight each other and try to duke it out. Like, Corey would be up there. He would be up there with the best, swinging his bottles of not curly. Oh shit! What's it called when you took the knee and you drank the drink? We'll get to it, but he's got quite a bunch of bottles that would help him out, and he's just got so many good lines. He's thick enough that you can see his brain working overtime as he's trying to answer the questions. And sometimes you can see he just gives up and just like skips to the next. And his hair is just
I just got finished brushing my teeth, okay?
what? Unbelievable.
I just got finished brushing my teeth.
Alright. Gotta finish brushing your teeth. His shirt says "Go Ride." I don't know what he's riding. Very high center of gravity on this guy. But yeah, his hair's slicked back, but it's just, I guess it must just want to stick straight up, but curved to the back, and it just looks like you could grate cheese on that bad boy. But right now he's in his glory. She's real. The girl that actually wants to have sex with this guy is real, and she's here, and now he gets to plow, or so he thinks. Someone's gonna get ridden tonight in this kitchen, but it's gonna be him by Chris Hansen. Oh, Corey. Let's go.
If you want something for the refrigerator, you can grab anything you want.
Alright.
Now, that was Dell offering him something in the fridge. I wonder if they had a full fridge on the set back then, because in Hansen v Predator, they don't. It's just a bare-ass fridge with some water bottles thrown in. And it would be hella suspicious to open that up and just see that serial killer like emptiness of a clean fridge. But maybe they had a full one here, or maybe it was just a power move by Dell to like try to get him to go to the fridge, and so Chris could just boom get him as he has momentum going forward and has to kind of fall back. Let's see what happens. He makes a move like he's going after her, and he starts making his way back.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Boom.
Good.
Oh.
I should have a seat right in the stool for me there. And keep your hands on your pockets, please. All right, no problem.
Jeez.
Right, have a seat right there.
What's he gonna do? Oh fuck. No more plow.
What's going on?
No more
How's
plow
lunch?
for Corey.
What's your name?
I'm Corey.
Corey?
Look
Yeah.
at this
And your
guy.
last name?
Bloop, bloop, bloop. It's like a square. I guess it would be a cylinder since it's round, but it's just like a cylinder of clay that somebody rolled together and plopped some ears on and carved out a face and go ride. Yeah, Corey, go ride. Prepare to get ridden. Go get ridden.
It's Ahia.
Ahia.
Yeah. Not too much.
What's your name?
I'm Corey.
Corey?
Yeah.
And your last name?
It's Ahia.
Ahia.
Yeah.
He considered lying, you could tell, but he didn't, and now he's just scratching his head. He's nervous. He's so nervous. He's scratching his head because he's nervous. And he just lied. Or, I mean, not lied. He just considered lying and didn't, and that was probably like a little rush. Because he's not too bright overall, but he knows he's in trouble.
What's going on?
He knows that he's not getting laid, at least. Some guys, I mean, some guys still continue to think David Schumacher comes to mind when you, yo, dude, if there's no, if the girl ain't coming, you ain't got cause to hold me up. Like, no, no, David, there is no girl. There's no girl coming.
And how old are you?
I'm 21.
21.
Yeah.
And
25.
who are you here to see, Corey?
Well, Chrissy, she told me that she's 18.
Damn, Corey, way to just out yourself about what's on your mind. He didn't ask her age. He just asked who you're there to see, and you giving her name and then just offering up. She said she was 18. Her name was 22, as Jerry, our friend Jerry Griffith would say. At least Corey doesn't make that mistake. But just offering up that she's 18, the minimum age of consent. It's suspicious, Corey. It really, it's not a good look. Let's go.
And she's 18.
Yeah.
Now, what were you going to do with Chrissy?
Just hang out and watch some DVDs. I brought beer for myself, but
Beer for yourself.
Just watch some DVDs. He's got the 40-year-old virgin, hence the 40-year-old virgin predator. And I believe Wedding Crashers, which I never saw, but it's got like that weird handjob rape scene that was funny at the time, but not anymore. Like 2005 was a raunchy, inappropriate time, and now we realized collectively as a society, like, oh, male rape, when men are getting raped, it's not funny. It's also fucked up, and should not be meant as the actual joke itself. But that's for another time. Let's see what Corey. So he's got the beer for himself. What else do you got, Corey?
yeah.
And what DVDs did you bring?
I brought over 40-year-old virgin and Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
And you said Chrissy was how old?
18.
18.
Power move by Chris's team there to have Dell come out with this look on her face, like giving him no friendliness whatsoever, just disdain, and laying out some documents. It gives the impression like, wow, I just didn't get caught up by like something small. There's an operation in place that I got caught up in. This is more than just getting lured to like get grilled by some dude. There's a network of people working around this, and they got info. Oh, Corey, you dumb, poor, sick bastard. Yeah, Corey's a scumbag, man. He got married though, more recently, and it makes you wonder, like, how can you marry this dude after watching this and reading the chat log with the 12-year-old? I mean, come on, lady, come on, Mrs. Ahia. Let's keep going. He's just stuck looking at her
You
back.
want to change that story?
You want to change that story?
Change that story?
Also, just a power phrase, like, you're mocking him. You want to change that story? You're letting him know your story's bullshit, and you got to say the truth. And it's also communicating that we know, or I know, if I say it to you, I know the truth. And I'm laughing now because I know the truth and you look like an idiot lying to me, but I could be unhappy if you continue.
Yeah, one second. Sorry.
That's Chris turning off the coffee maker, which is bubbling away back there. Chris, being the gentleman he is, apologizes, gives Corey a welcome break in the middle of his grilling. You know, he's taking a few deep breaths. Oof. Okay, bought some time. What am I gonna say to this dude? Oh shit, who is this guy? Why is he wearing such nice clothes? Fuck. Where's Chrissy? Here we go. He's just...
Now the problem...
He looks like he's wearing eyeliner. That was a thing at the time, back in the 2000s. Guys wearing, like, eyeliner, you know, then with the loose tie and, like, the, like, ratty suit or something. The pop punk guys did it. And Corey does have that, like, burnished fake tan glow, so I don't doubt that he would wear eyeliner, but it could just be the quality of the video. I'm not willing to make any judgment calls at this point.
For you, Corey, is that I have the transcript.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and tell me what really happened, now is probably a good time to do it.
All right. Who are you?
Damn. So that was the inevitable follow-up to, do you want to change that story? That was, you know, that first phrase was the feint. Excuse me, sorry. Went to Dab City earlier, and it's fucking with my throat. But that first phrase is the feint. That right there is the follow-through, man. He lets him know, like, dude, you're fucked. We know everything. Or at least he's making it seem like this is the case. Like, dude, you're fucked. We know everything. We've got the transcripts. And Corey just goes, okay. No, it's not okay, Corey. It's not okay at all. But then Corey kind of he bounces back. It's like that follow-through... that follow-through big hit kind of woke him up a little bit, jolted him back to life. And now he realizes, like, oh shit, I'm in a fight here. I gotta get going. Or not get going. I gotta start, you know, holding my ground. And so he wants to know who Chris is. Let's just watch that whole... It's beautiful. Chris just has this fantastic delivery that you can just feel the words, you know, slapping across the face of the predator. Just hitting him in areas of the brain that they didn't know were there, and just knocking him senseless like a flash bang to the ears.
The problem for you, Corey, is that I have the transcript.
Sorry.
Now the problem for you, Corey, is that I have the transcript.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and tell me what really happened, now is probably a good time to do it.
All right.
Man, Chris also says that with such authority and just aplomb, like calm. Like he's above it. But he's not judging you for what you're doing here necessarily. Or at least he's maintaining that non-judgmental attitude. He's not exuding anger, you know, like a father or any normal, rational person would in the same situation. So it implies that he's being held back by some form of, you know, standard operating procedure, rules of engagement. So that implies that he's some kind of law enforcement. Otherwise, he would just be beating the shit out of Corey instead of talking to him like this. And that he's kind of acting above it. But then here's where he gets sharp, when it gets to the dishonesty. he's making it seem like he cares more about the dishonesty than whatever Corey has to say about what he's doing there. Obviously, that's not the case. You know, Chris Hansen was a finely tuned machine for tearing these predators in half, but he did it with such style and grace that they didn't even know what was going on until it was too late. Here, Corey, he's offering a couple quick flurries just to buy himself some time.
Who are you?
I'll get to that in a minute. I need
Okay.
to know some information from you first.
Boom. Chris knows what they're gonna say, and he hits him with the "I'll get to that in a minute." Classic Chris line. You know, letting him know that, dude, you're gonna find out and you're not gonna like it. You know, it kind of sends off those vibes, and he says it in such a way that Corey's just okay. Ah, fuck, it didn't work.
Okay.
So why don't you tell me exactly what happened?
We started talking.
That really captures
We
the essence of Corey Ahia right there. Just, he looks much younger, but just, you can see how fat he is. Like, just kind of how goofy, small ears, just classic 2005 hairstyle. He's edgy as fuck. Like, he's like a startled animal and
was
just kind of like trying to survive here.
started talking. I don't know.
And you can tell because he's starting to talk. You know, you should, like a fucking moron, he should just leave. Any situation where you're not you're breaking the law, like, you shouldn't incriminate yourself further. I mean, I'm glad this guy did. Super glad we can analyze it so many years later, but Chris just kind of, once again, shows that verbal jujitsu where he can get these more weak-minded guys they're like putty in his hands, or like a seal between his orca fingers. all right, sorry. We'll focus on Corey here. Let's get down to business, down to brass tacks.
A couple weeks ago, and
He shrugs like, what? And? What do you want from me, dude? And? Oh, Corey, don't let Chris think about... His imagination will fill itself up with plenty of shocking stuff. So don't let him imagine what you wanted to do.
wanted to meet up. I don't know.
You don't know.
Well, we talked, and I mean, there was no specifics.
So, again, another power move right here. Dale bringing in more. I wonder what she's bringing in. Like, is she bringing in just different parts of the chat? Like, is it? She probably is, and that's why they're giving it out in bits and pieces, just so she can walk out and have that effect on him. But you can tell he's working. His brain is just whirring in there and getting hot, starting to smoke a little bit, because he has no answer. He knows what he's doing there. Chris knows what he's doing there. This shows that everybody who's probably behind the door knows what he was doing there. But he can't say that. He doesn't know he's being taped at this point, because I don't think he knows who Chris Hansen is. But, you know, he just, he's not going to admit it. At least not without a little bit of resistance. But he's not fast enough on his feet to think of some excuse. You know, JPW made up lies too quick for his own good and got himself tripped up. But he was quick on his feet. He could make up a story on the go. What other? I mean, Corey Ahia, not one of those guys. Even Jerry Griffith. The story about Adriana. Her name was 22. No, her name was Adriana, and she said she was 22. He thought of that on the go. This story about how the aunt took over the chat, and so he actually wasn't saying those terrible sexual things to the girl, to the decoy. He was saying them to the aunt, and he doesn't know how she got rid of those messages. The ones from her. He doesn't know how she did that. But Corey's got nothing. Corey's just meh. Much like his counterpart, the other Corey. Oh, the Coreys are just good shit. That's what the TCAP Coreys. I'm totally blanking on the other Corey's name. Corey Edgar. Duh. The two Coreys provide for some good entertainment because Corey Edgar just he also gets overwhelmed, but kind of just gives up because he knows he knows what's going on. I've got my fishing gear in my truck. I was just stopping by. I can prove that. But let's get back. I'm all over the place. Apologies. Whew, okay.
Go ahead. No specifics about what, Corey?
I don't know. I mean,
Corey also brings that upon himself, like offering up there were no specifics about what, Corey? I was expecting him to say sex because he already said earlier she said she was 18 unprompted, and it seems like he was going to say something like that, but then he caught himself. So he's learning from past mistakes at this point. Quite the skill for a 25-year-old predator.
She did not tell you she was 18, did she?
in her profile it said that she was 18. Yeah, but
No. You want to try it again?
no, that's what I.
Is that a wedding ring? I've always wondered, like, I don't know what I'm doing.
No, that's what I remembered seeing.
That's what you were.
No, but
See?
Not tell you she was 18, did she?
in her profile it said that she was 18. Yeah, but
Is it a wedding ring? I don't know. I don't think this guy was married. Excuse me. Pardon me. I don't think this guy was married at the time of the sting. But anyway, he's fucking nervous. You can tell he's starting to touch his hair like while talking. Huge sign that someone's self-soothing. You know, they're in a stressful situation.
No.
And he's in the stressful situation on the hallowed stool of Chris Hansen.
You want to try it again?
no, that's what I remembered seeing.
He's hedging his words there a little bit. That's what he remembers saying. Nobody can prove that he doesn't remember it that way, even if that's not the way it was. It's not an argument that works, but I guess it's good enough for right now for Corey. You can just see in his eyes, he's terrified. Like, they're bugging out. Bulging, just like the rest of his face bulges in different directions. Bulge, 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 bulge. All right. Here we go.
That's what you remember, but she told you something different later, didn't she?
I'm sure he's wearing a little bit of eyeliner. Now I'm willing to make a judgment. I'm calling it. He's wearing eyeliner.
I don't remember.
You don't remember.
No.
Doesn't remember her age.
Can we just get to what?
What was your plan here tonight?
I was just gonna drink and hang out and watch some DVD.
He doesn't really pursue it, but right there, he just wants to get to business. Like, he wants to get arrested and go. He doesn't want to sit here and have to explain himself and answer for his actions because they're despicable. And if this guy starts reading from the chat log, Corey, I mean, he's gonna be sizzling, sweating grease balls. just rolling down because he doesn't have answers. He's his mind is blank.
DVDs, and that was it.
He was gonna drink, just him, just like Alonzo Wade. Him and Alonzo Wade sneaking into little girls' houses to drink by themselves and just to hang out with the underage girl. Nothing wrong here.
She says, I tasted beer. You don't like it, do you? Not really. Yeah, I have to get you some chick beer. What's that? Smirnoff Ice. What kind of flavor beer? What kind of beer did you bring here?
I brought...
Great classic moment from Corey coming up here. Just want to point out that these Fast Eddie's commentary on Corey said that he brought these water bottles out and that made him a nice guy. No, they were already there. Chris Hansen is a nice guy for putting him out there. Not Corey.
I brought myself a couple of Bud Selects, and I brought Smirnoff.
The Smirnoff Ice.
It's Twisted Green Apple.
No, it's not Smirnoff Ice. It's Smirnoff Twisted Green Apple malt beverage. I mean, he's got you there, Chris. What are you gonna do? It's not Smirnoff Ice. It's just exactly the same and different brand. But anyway, not a great
So
argument.
that's kind of what this girl wanted, right?
I don't know.
Well, it says right here.
Okay, so
Well, why are you fibbing to me? Just tell me the truth,
yeah.
all right?
Okay, so what all's going on here?
So he's slowly waking up and fighting back a little bit, and he's asking good questions like, what the fuck is going on here? What is this? But Chris is going to utilize some of his hidden powers. Well, I mean, they're hidden from eyes, but those powers silence, and I'll get to that in a minute. But they successfully put Corey back on his toes, back on his heels, I should say.
I mean,
You knew she was underage, right?
I didn't know how underage, but
Right back.
How old are you?
Talk about.
Chrissy says 12. Are you serious? Yeah, laugh out loud. How old are you? 25.
Ooh, that's pretty clear, Corey.
Are you in elementary school? I'm in 7th grade. Oh.
Oh my god. If you have... Nobody should ever be asking somebody, are you in elementary school, in any kind of romantic way. It's just no situation could have that in a positive way. That's so fucked up. Just hearing that, it makes you just kind of sick. And Corey's probably sitting fucking naked behind his computer on chat, like, touching himself while the perverted justice decoy just like munches on lunch and types this stuff out, wrote just by muscle memory, because she types it's all the same fucking creeps.
Okay, that's cool, I guess.
so what?
The bombs are out. Chris is dropping the bombs from the chat log. This is always his best move, you know? Just hitting them with their own words. Super uncomfortable for all of them, for most of them. And Corey he wants it to be over, so he's just gonna, what is this? What's going on? He just wants this to end. He doesn't want to be in limbo. Like, he wants to know, is he in trouble or is he not in trouble? Is he gonna skate, or is this bad? Is this really bad or just a little bad? Like, most people can't stand that feeling of not knowing what's going on, or, you know, should I flee, fight, freeze? What's gonna happen to me? Most people just would rather be told what's gonna happen to them. It's the mystery and suspense that's the worst.
What exactly is going on?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out.
Well,
You say, have you had sex?
Well, okay.
Oh, kind of. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, what's wrong? I'm sad. Why? You're right.
Chris is in fine form, just flipping, twisting, ducking, dodging, agile, flinging his words back in his own face, using his own words to break right back into another quote from the chat log.
Back, okay.
I'm talking too much.
Okay, well,
Let it run.
Well, do you like having sex with him?
well,
You get off? I don't know.
okay, well, let's just cut to it. Okay, I talked to her a couple of times, and this is my first time ever meeting someone like this. And
Your first time?
yes,
I doubt it.
I've
Pretty comfortable walking in that door.
A lot.
I've met people that are over 18. I've never met anyone underage before.
So what made you decide, Corey, tonight here in
I-
California I'm going to go over to this town
Did it
and meet a
casual,
12-year-old
too,
girl
just
and
casual.
bring her alcoholic beverages?
I don't know. It was very stupid. I don't know.
Well, Corey, what would have happened had I not been here?
I would have drinking my beer, watched the DVD, and I don't know. I've never done this before. I'm not.
You sound pretty practiced here, so are you going to get
The
dressed?
fact that he keeps on repeating unbidden that it's his first time, he's never done this before, makes me feel like he's done this before, because that's his standard go-to when he's trying to lie.
All sexy for me.
Yeah.
Really? Like what? I don't know. What kind of underwear do you wear? This is a 12-year-old
I mean,
girl.
it's just
I know.
short-circuiting.
I mean, if
Look, even his hair is starting to wilt.
I'll never go on Yahoo again. I don't.
Yahoo isn't the problem there, buddy.
I don't need this.
Fuck you, Corey. You don't need this. The 12-year-old girl that you came there to molest and probably rape didn't need that. But you didn't care. You just strolled right on in. Fuck this guy, man. There's some quotes or just some phrases that make you instantly hate somebody so much more. And that's one of them. I don't need this in my life. Fucking Dan Allen says that. I don't need this in my life. I take care of my blind father. Well, Dan and Corey, it's out of your hands at this point.
This was a mistake, and I'm sorry.
So you just decided today for the first time in your life that you were going to go visit a 12-year-old?
I have never done it before. I swear to you.
But there is a lot of sexually charged...
I understand what you're saying, and it was a mistake, and it's never going to happen again.
See, he's found his groove, just apologizing. Like, maybe I can just keep apologizing, speed up the process. Like, hell, maybe I can even get out of this relatively unscathed. Chris isn't advancing upon him. He's not getting out handcuffs. So maybe Corey thinks that he can skate away on the breeze, on this Riverside sting.
For a living.
I install phone systems.
So you go in people's homes?
No, I don't. It's all business.
All business.
Yeah.
That's a relief.
And what do you suppose your bosses are going to think?
They're not going to like it.
I mean, kind of a weird question, in my opinion. Maybe it was a bigger deal back then, but that's the least of Corey's problems right now. Like, his boss, she's going to find a new person to replace him within the week, and she'll be fine. Or he will be, whoever, they'll be fine. But Corey, he's got so many more people to answer to before it gets to his boss, like family, parents, siblings, nieces, nephews. This dude's going on the registry. At the very least, he actually, he actually gets 6 months in prison and registration as a sex offender. I mean, that's a hindrance to life. That changes everything.
Corey, do you watch TV?
Way too light of a sentence for him.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch Dateline, NBC?
Yeah.
Well, I need to tell you something, because I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
Oh my gosh.
And we're doing a story on computer predators.
I've never done this before.
One of the better reactions to the cameras. Everything changes for him. You can tell he just instantly knows. He's a little bit younger, I guess, 25, so maybe he understands media better than the old farts. But he knows that this went from bad to way, way worse, because his face is going to be plastered all over the the news and then the internet. And here we are, 15 years later, however long it is. Let's go. Things are getting spicy.
You ever watch Dateline, NBC?
Yeah.
Well, I need to tell you something, because I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
Oh my gosh.
And we're doing a story on computer bets.
I've never done this before. Oh my gosh.
Now, if there's anything you want to tell us,
No,
to shed light on this situation, we'd like to hear it.
Legendary.
If not, obviously, we can't keep you here. You're
Mistake.
free to go.
I've
take your stuff.
I've never done this before, and I don't have a problem telling you that.
And why should we believe you?
You don't have to if you wouldn't like to, but it's the truth.
What does that mean? You don't have to if you don't like to, if you don't want to? You're trying to convince them, Corey. You need them to believe you. You need Chris to believe you. So, not the best argument, but again, Corey's just been his brain has been flash fried several times already. First when Chris walked out, now the cameras. Woo! Don't stick a fork in him because he'll crumble. But he's done for sure.
But virtually every human being who has walked into this house has said the same
And other
thing.
houses.
Well,
Could
no.
it be possible that everyone just decided tonight for the first time to walk in here?
No, I understand what you're saying, and it
Corey understands a lot about what he's saying.
it very well could be that.
But he doesn't seem to realize what any of it means for him.
I could be lying to you.
What should happen to you?
Oh, hopefully I learned my lesson, and that's the end of it.
I get what he's saying. Hopefully he learned his lesson, and hopefully you'll just let me go, Mr. Stranger, Mr. Hansen. But the way he phrases it, again, just makes you hate him so much more. Hopefully I learned my lesson. Like, you should know if you learned your lesson. So it's more like, sir, I learned my lesson, and hopefully that's enough for you. It's not, hope I learned my lesson. I mean, what he's saying is, I hope you let me go, and I'll say whatever you want me to say to do that. What a fucking moron. Ugh.
All right. You're free to go.
All right, can you turn the cameras off now? I need to ask you a couple questions.
Cameron
The absolute best part of the entire interview right here.
doesn't have to stay on, but you're welcome to ask me whatever you like.
Corey's gonna play fucking media lawyer right here.
Okay, how does this work as far as your taping rights? I mean, do I have to sign a waiver for it? Because I never agreed to be on camera. I don't understand how that works.
You don't have to.
I'll tell you how it works, Corey. You walked into a stranger's house at the behest of a 12-year-old girl that you were planning on raping. What rights would you possibly... I don't get it. You just want to you just want to punch him in the face as hard as you can. His face looks squishy, like it would just... Like, just one big bruise. But the balls on this guy to ask what his rights are after he walked into this house sniffing after a 12-year-old girl to molest. I don't think he's ballsy. I think he's just really fucking stupid.
Why is that?
Because it's a news program.
Because it's a news program is what Chris says is the reason why. They can do what they want. It's a good enough reply because he can't really argue against it. He probably doesn't understand that answer. So it kind of ends it right there.
Okay.
You made the choice to come in here.
Oh, I understand that, but I just wanted to know how that worked. So
What works is we're doing a story. We've made...
It was a last-ditch attempt to try to not be on camera, as if they hadn't thought about this ahead of time. I mean, you saw that smooth reveal when they came out coordinated, Corey. It's not like they're going to forget about something like that where they can't publish it later.
No final...
I'm sure they had plenty of lawyers go over this to make sure they were in the clear. I mean, he told you it was NBC. It's not like your local news station or student, the college organization that doesn't have any money. Like, they got money. They know what they're doing.
Decision as to who is going to be in the story when it finally goes on television.
Yeah.
And so those are decisions we'll make down the road. If you care to contact us,
See him look away, like thinking about the possibility. Maybe I won't be on it. But Chris is just giving him false hope here. He's definitely going to be on it. He was too entertaining not to be. And if he wasn't so stupid, he would know that and realize that.
card. Just hang on right there.
Okay.
Keep your hands on your pocket.
Okay, no problem.
I'm going to get your card. Just stay right there. And you're
Just flexing on him one last time. Just kind of, doing that jump scare where he flexing at him. Okay. Imagine what if somebody had this card somehow. Like, if this dude gave it to a friend or, like, left it at his parents' house and they put it with his stuff and somebody bought it at a yard sale and they had Chris Hansen's business card. That would be so insane. That'd be like finding the stool from this house. Great camera work.
So my email's on there, as well as my office number, so you're more than welcome to call.
Okay.
Chris has all this stuff laid
All right. Well, thank you.
out. Thank you for ruining my
Can we
life.
go off the bat?
Sure.
Can you please?
Can you please? He wants him to get out of the way. Just like a last little kind of hissy, like, before he goes out to get arrested. But that's Corey Ahia, everybody. I'm really pushing it at 41 minutes. I wanted to keep it to 30. But this got me thinking, like, imagine if you could recreate the layout of this kitchen with all this stuff and then do it the same to all the other Sting houses and just, like, put them recreations together in a giant warehouse. And then you can just go from room to room sitting on a stool getting grilled by Chris Hansen lookalikes. I mean, hell, Chris Hansen is probably desperate enough to work there for you and just grill guests all day for $100. All right, though. That's the end of our first TCAP recap. We will see you on the flip side.